Oh no!
No!
Oh
Ring!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special reaction to one of, well, the biggest Schmodown matches maybe in history, right here on Dedicated to Art. I'm, of course, your host, Case Cornelis, joined by the usual panel of Chris and Nico. And yes, today is the day that, it might be a very sad day, but I think we should all be happy for the legacy that this team built in their years of competing. Because yeah, today will be the official last match for two people who have been in the Schmodown so long, who have won belts. Actually defending two today, and yeah, the Shirewolves, Clark and Rachel, will play their last match against KOrruption. Who, the KOrruption has been on a roll. They've definitely earned this title match. Of course, the question is, will they be good enough today to beat them, or will Clark and Rachel have to vacate the belt? We're gonna find that out. Anyway, I should stop talking. I should probably throw it over to Nico, the one of the biggest fans of the Shirewolves, at least the biggest fan here, I believe. I'm not sure, but Nico, what are your thoughts on today's match?
I will remember you. You will remember me. I don't know the rest of the words to that song. It's weird because I've been following sports entertainment of various kinds for over a decade of my life. I've watched the retirements of Randy Couture, Matt Hughes, Mark Coleman, George St. Pierre, possibly Daniel Cormier this past weekend. What I thought was the retirement of The Undertaker, and I've even been witness to the retirement of Edge, and I've never felt this kind of emotional connection to those other retirements that I do with the Shirewolves, and maybe it's just because I've actually met Rachel and gotten to have a conversation with her, even if it was brief. But yeah, this is an end of an era. We're witnessing the Shirewolves' last match for forever, if not for at least a very long time, because we know they have other things they want to do in their lives, and that's perfectly fine. Like, you don't have to be a professional athlete forever, and they have other things they want to do, and I support them for it. I'm torn here. I'm torn here because, again, sports entertainment background, the tradition is usually always, at least in wrestling, you go out on a loss to put over the next generation. So for the legacy, I want to see the Shirewolves get that one last win and go out on a high, but also for the respect of the business and for like keeping things moving. And also just because Chance is like our frenemy. And it would be nice to see another family competitor get a belt over their shoulder / waist. I don't know how to feel. Now I'm looking at the length of this video, and I do have a prediction, and that's that we're definitely going to get a tribute video of some kind. I don't know how long it's going to be, but we're going to get a tribute video. My second prediction is either there's a potential second match, or the match that's been advertised might get changed to a triple threat.
I don't know, man. As the two survivors of a triple threat teams match,
That was not a good idea.
that was not the best idea. Sorry to say,
Uh,
but I'll just simply say this: like I took the lead last Friday on Who Cares Anyway, where I gave my little tribute to both Clark and Rachel, and I do think they are one of the best teams. It's them and the Patriots. Like, to me, that's the argument of who's the better team in the Schmodown.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, once again, thank you, ladies. You are both phenomenal at this game. I've had the pleasure of meeting Rachel. I've not had the pleasure of meeting Clark. But again, guys, # Women in Horror with Clark Wolf. Let's make this happen in October, please. Please.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited for this match. And to be honest, win or lose for the Shirewolves, this could not be a more poetic end for their run because, who is the big rivalry between this? Mike and Rachel.
Mike and Rachel, yeah.
So I'm just excited for this match to get underway. And you know what? I'm going to let this old bad boy out real quick before we hit 3, 2, 1. Chance! Had to.
Of course you had to.
Of
course. Yeah. I will just say this before we start. It has been pretty clear I am not the biggest fan of the Shirewolves. I do massively respect them for everything they did, and I am kind of sad to see them go because it's like, they are one of the best teams, if not the best team around. So, yeah. If I say that I hope that KOrruption wins, that doesn't mean that I want Shirewolves to lose, but it's more that if KOrruption wins, they will just then we will at least have a team champion. Because if the Shirewolves win, they vacate the belt and we won't have a team champion. And if KOrruption wins, then Chance will be the second family competitor to have a belt along with Paul. And Mike will have his second belt on his way to the Triple Crown, which of course would also be very awesome to see if he can actually pull that off. I don't think Mike will, but at least he has one, get the second one, and then see if you can get the third, perhaps. That's really my reason that I want KOrruption to win. But either way, I think this will be a great match, and I think we should just stop talking and press play, and we'll do that in 3, 2, 1, play. Hello, Roxy.
Hello, Roxy.
Looking good.
Miss Stryer.
Hey, Captain.
Lovely to see you. Lovely as
Good
always.
to see you too. You've been doing an amazing job. I think that you are
Well, thank you.
so refreshing. Just absolutely doing.
Why are you sucking up
I'm
to
really
him?
appreciative, and I think we're working.
I mean, to
well
be fair,
together.
they
I'm
were
grateful for
kind
all
of
the
being
things that
friendly
you've
at
done for
Houston.
Odd Couple, and
Well, thank you so much for saying so.
Sort of.
you're welcome.
Ish.
There's one thing though, mostly online, I've been noticing that you haven't really made any big moves. You haven't really done anything huge, like dropped any bombs. And I'm a little surprised because it doesn't seem much like you.
Big things take time. They take planning. They take thought. I have something to show you.
Thought. The one thing Robert Meyer
This
Burnett
is
is
something
incapable
that
of.
I like to call
Nuke.
the nuke.
The nuke?
The nuke. Why don't you take a look at it?
Oh
I'd be
dear.
very curious to hear what you think.
Anytime there's an envelope in the Schmodown, it's never good.
Nope.
No.
Oh my god. It could be amazing, but also, I don't know. And there's no way that Christian ever goes for this.
Oh, yes, you will.
You think?
Yes. I mean, anyone who cannot recognize genius is by definition a moron. And I don't think that Christian is a moron. After all, I'm right here. I'm the commissioner, aren't I?
That's true. I don't think Christian's a moron either. Good luck with this.
Oh, I don't think I'm going to need luck at all. I think Christian's going to
Okay.
Is it just me or did that paper look like a receipt?
Kind of. It looked like an invoice. What was the invoice
Look,
for?
it might as well have been a blank paper. It's about what Burnett is going to do, and Roxy has been informed what he's going to do. But the question is, what is it? What will he do?
Also, I kind of got like con vibes from Burnett in that promo. Like it felt very Wrath of Khan-ish.
Come on!
Burnett!
Burnett!
Navarro!
Tomorrow, Navarro!
Oh, God. By the way, how much longer is his reign of terror?
It ends, I believe, once we get out of New York.
Good.
Next week.
Yep.
Huh.
You can feel it in
Ellis, what is that jacket?
It's the Schmodown Throwdown
I don't know.
Championship team match here. I'm Christian Harloff. Mark
I
Ellis.
am Mark Ellis, and boy,
Baseball
Christian
jacket?
George, what an event
Yeah.
we have for the kids here tonight, the Shirewolves.
Look, the Shirewolves are one of, if not the best team of all time in the movie trivia Schmodown. Classy, Clark Wolf, the Crusher, Rachel
Right now, I
Cushing,
can just imagine
legends
that
of the
the
game,
booth
and
boys are
the team
scrambling to
champions.
fix the audio issues.
They made a decision. They sat
But
down,
thank you,
myself with
crew.
the Shirewolves,
You guys
and
are
they
all
said,
I was not invited.
you were not
Oh, yeah.
invited to that one. They said, this is it. Win or lose, we are going to step down. But they
Dunzo.
wanted to make sure, because I made this clear, that I said to them, I said, look, if you wanted to, you guys have nothing else to prove now. You can just step away and we'll put the belts on the line in the tournament. And they said, no. We want to go out. Corruption earned their spot. We want to play them. And in order to do that, we had to find this time. We had a special time to do it. It's today. Thank you to Thad and to Mark Fernandez and everybody for making this happen tonight. The crew of Collider stayed
It was
extra
quite
today
late,
just
yeah.
to make sure that this match happened tonight.
Started at
How about a hand
10:30
for the crew, everybody?
Eastern time.
This is
Jesus.
that's
what
7
you love about
Jesus
the
Christ.
Schmodown. And it is incidental that it is happening on a Thursday
Yeah, I
night
was
right
trying
now
to
because
sleep at
remember the
that time.
Friends Seinfeld lineup, must-see TV? That's exactly what this is going to be because, as you said, the Shirewolves, they're looking to ride off into the sunset like the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, but Corruption is looking to crystal
reference.
skull
No.
them and take
Oh,
those belts
no.
and
Oh,
ride
yes.
off into their own
Not-
future
not
in
the
the movie
second
Trivia
one.
Schmodown team division.
And it's funny you say
First
that
one, yes.
because ever since we announced that this would be the
First
last
one,
match
one of the
for
best
Shirewolves,
action
lot of
and
tears.
prevention
rightfully
moves of all
so,
time.
there's been a
Second
lot of
one,
emotion.
one of the
fans
biggest
have got behind it.
disappointments of
There's
all
been a
time.
lot of support for it and everything. This
I mean,
is
I
the
don't
last
hate
match
like
for the
everyone else
Shirewolves.
does, but
And Corruption has
yeah.
kind of taken a back seat
Sure,
to
but
all
it's
this.
not good.
And you have to think there are two things on the table here for Corruption. If Chance Ellison happens to win the title tonight, he will surpass his rival Paul Oyama, and he will be the
Is
youngest
Chance
champion
younger?
of all
Yeah.
time. Mike
Oh,
by,
Kalinowski,
by I
Mike
think a few
Kalinowski
months.
will be the third double-belted champion of all time.
Not a
So
lot.
Corruption's fighting for a lot right now. But yes, it's about the Shirewolves. It really is when you look at what they have accomplished, and this would be the fourth time overall that they won a title match. You know, it's there's so much on the line for the Shirewolves, but they've earned everything that they've got.
You look at their significance in the history of the movie Trivia Schmodown, both inside the ring and outside, what it means to the people at large, what it has meant to fans around the world to be able to watch Rachel and Clark compete together. Both sterling individual competitors, and when they team up, there's just an extra ingredient of magic. But Corruption, I mean, this is the role they were born to play, is a spoiler to somebody's going away party. That's why I wore the varsity jacket, because it's a graduation
that's
for the
why.
Shirewolves.
Well, you said it, because Classic Clark Wolf, she was.
Is that a
trailblazer.
good
She
reason?
was the
Yeah.
first really-
Very.
and I said it before. Yes, we've had other women in the league before Clark came in, but Clark was the first one to come
There,
in. She went
everyone,
3-0,
that's our thumbnail
challenged
for
a
tonight.
title, kept on playing, and just became like a superstar.
Nah, we can do
just
better.
Like that. And then Rachel, she was the one that came to me and said, Rachel Cushing's answered questions in the crowd.
What if we are all like
and they
sobbing?
didn't join forces right away, but eventually they did, and they
That's
formed this
tough.
big super team that they are.
Yeah, depending on how it
with the
goes, maybe I
Shirewolves,
will
but
be.
you also mentioned Mike Kalinowski. Cushing and Kalinowski again, and people forget, and I said this yesterday on this live stream that I did, one of the most underrated matches of all time was Wolf versus Kalinowski.
Yeah,
It was
that
a
happened.
Yeah,
number
that
one
was a great
contender
match.
for the singles championship, sudden death, and Clark Wolf took that victory. So there's a lot of history between these teams. Just
By the
never
way,
have they
Chance
gone
has not
together in the
faced
teams.
either
I
of
love
them.
it. I think that the wild card here tonight could be Chance
Nope.
Ellis and him
Right.
teaming
That's
up with Mike
fair.
Kalinowski. How's that chemistry going to play out? We know how it's going to play out for the Shirewolves. This is what we've been waiting for. As a great band once said, I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Great singer.
Getting that excited.
Ellis.
I'm
I was
excited
thinking,
too.
not
And
Genesis.
if that
That's
didn't
Phil
get you
Collins.
pumped up, check out this great trailer here by our own, the Nerd Chronic, Mr. Eric. Let's take it away.
So does this mean as well, teams division after that match, IG, singles, this is it?
Yes.
Shirewolves.
Rachel the Crusher Cushing.
Wolf is a legend. Quite possibly one of the best teams we've ever served.
Fan favorites out there for a reason.
Shout out to David B for the music.
Bring that A game every
They're
time.
both legends of the game.
Friend of the channel.
Indeed.
I'll do all of that at the end of the video. I'll just give a speech.
The
journey has just been more than I expected, but also I don't think that I ever thought that I would get to a place of such just like even keel about it.
Why not go out, try it once? I don't think I'll win. I don't think this will actually go very far, but I'll put my money where my mouth is. Both of us had, roller coaster rides to get here. We had the strong ups at the beginning. We had the really crushing defeats. That's a part of it. It's a hard part of it, but at the end of the day, when I look back on it, it was almost more special having dealt with all the bumps along the way.
Is it somewhat poetic that the last match is against Mike Kalinowski again?
Of course it is.
Movie Trivia Schmodown is not about the storylines ending all happy and fluffy, like a cake at a wedding. It is about truth. It's about destiny.
You must be Destiny taking over, is that right?
Damn right I'm Destiny.
This is now a titan of the game.
I'm not intimidated, not one damn bit.
Chance Ellison now has a title shot. Mike Kalinowski has his first title shot outside of the Inter-Geekdom division.
We have a path in front of us. Two future champions together.
You all doubted me. I set out last year to take that Inter-Geekdom title, and I got it. I'm taking those team titles. We're going to have all the belts at the end of this. Every time I open my mouth to say what I'm going to do, it happens. You see what happens when you doubt me. Keep doubting me. You've seen the consequences of when you do that to me, what happens.
And now this is one more time that Mike Kalinowski gets to play Rachel Cushing for a championship. So the story is there once again.
They had that great streak, but now they've lost. I know what it's like to lose. Losing makes you a better competitor. Great competitors, they take the loss in stride. You come back stronger than ever before. I proved that. He's going to prove it. We're going to be champions.
I still have won far more matches against Mike than he's won against me. I'll just point that out. And I'm determined to make sure that our record versus each other ends at 4-1.
And win or lose, Rachel will still have more wins than Mike after this match.
So we're going out swinging.
We're gonna go out there and give them hell.
We loved playing. We loved everything we've done so far, and we want to give you one last show. We want to come up here one last time. We fight all the way to the end.
If anyone needs, then...
I feel like I'm getting choked up.
There should be a women's league. There's no women's league. There's no women's league. We are the league. We're in the league, and we're the winners right now.
We have accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. We're incredibly proud of what we've done. And to the fans, we are so incredibly grateful for all of the support, and this last one is for you.
Again,
hard not to get emotional watching that one.
Did you hear that ripping electric
the guy who edits this again.
Eric Rodriguez, aka
What a
Nerd
promo
Chronic.
that was. Christian, win or
Right,
lose
Nerd
with
Chronic.
the Shirewolves. I
You
hope
are
everybody out
so
there bought
good.
stock in Kleenex because we're going to be going through
Jesus
more tissues than
Seriously,
Makuga
like
in high
that's
school. No.
from now on, the collaboration needs to be Eric and David
That's
B.
why we call her classic.
I think Ellis just made a masturbation joke about Josh Makuga.
He did. He did.
What do you have?
I'm trying to talk over it
David
because
B,
that's
props
gross.
to David
Trying
B,
to ignore it.
And Eric for doing just ripping those promo. David B has been doing a lot of our original music, and man, that was just something special.
Is he friends with Joe Satriani? I mean, who was that on electric guitar?
But Mark, when you look at
God
that,
damn it,
you
I
look at
don't
that
have-
promo, and you
That's
see
fine.
all
It's
the
fine.
history between what the Shirewolves as individual players together, and then you look at a player like Chance Ellison, this up-and-coming rookie, and then Mike Kalinowski, who's just having a hell of a year. I mean, he really has just turned around from what he was when he first started to a pretty good player to a great player. This feels, you can feel it in the air, feels like a heavyweight title fight.
You look at the history that is between Clark and Rachel, what they've done individually, what KOrruption has posed as a threat to them in the team division. I mean, this is everything you want in a matchup. Regardless of sport, I think that people across different lines, whether you care about soccer, whether you care about boxing, football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is, you love the spirit of competition. You love when it's all on the line. That's exactly what you're getting, and it's about to go down right now. 5 rounds, winner take all.
All right, Mark, so let us tell a little bit of the tape here between both of the teams, both KOrruption and the Shirewolves.
Well, we're going to start actually with the Shirewolves, because the Shirewolves, they are great at comic book movies, horror movies, and being the greatest team that ever was.
Zip it.
KOrruption, on the other hand, they are great at action movies, James Bond movies, and trying to dethrone the greatest team that ever was.
All right, well, that being said, the tail of the tape, it's out there. I ask you, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's
trivia.
time for the
Schmodown. All right, let's go.
5 rounds for the Movie Trivia Schmodown Team Championship of the World. Introducing first.
I think Chris and I are still missing the dishy pasta.
To the ring. By their managers.
I mean, this is a cool song, though.
The pit boss, Ken Knapsack.
It holds no candle, too.
Of 4 wins, 1 defeat. They are the #1 ranked contenders, the Cobra, Chance Ellison, and the Movie Trivia Schmodown Inner Geekdom Champion.
And I'm not playing this on my guitar because I don't own a 7 string. Sorry, David B.
Kalinowski, KOrruption.
There's Grace, there's Chance.
And there's the champ. There's the Inner Geekdom champ.
Stacy's not there.
Grace leads him out, Ken flanks him, and the stars themselves in the middle. Look at that shiny belt.
Like, I understand him not being there, but Stacy.
Look at the Inner Geekdom champ. He's going to be trying to become the 3rd
one with the Shirewolves and what this means to them with what he wrote on the whiteboard. You say goodbye, I say hello. That's obviously a famous Monkey song.
Right.
Ah.
True.
Yes.
All right. And their opponents.
My only complaint about the Shirewolves, I just wish they went with a better song.
Led to the ring.
There's a lot of better female empowerment anthems, just saying, ladies.
You can never go wrong with Beyonce.
Yes, you can.
Draco.
Yeah. Kind of.
7 wins, 1 defeat, and
Like, Beyonce is usually pretty good, but
they are the reigning, defending, undisputed Movie Trivia Schmodown Team Champions of the World. Classy Clark Wolf, the Crusher, Rachel
Come on.
Cushing, the Shirewolves. Look at that. For one night only, the Fight Club reunites.
Waving to their throng of admirers, sold-out crowd here to cheer on the Shirewolves in their last match, their last intro. It is hugs all around for this very tightly knit. You would say group, I say family that is going to be rooting on Clark and Rachel.
And walked
here
out by
tonight.
KOrruption giving respect. KOrruption, look at KOrruption, giving respect. The audience giving respect. Big round of applause for the Wolves. Mike Kalinowski showing respect to the Shirewolves as everybody getting ready to play this match. Look at all the gold up there, too.
I like the handshakes. I'm going to take back some of the things that I've written on social media about
you cut from the
corruption.
stare down. Come on.
They are sitting down. They are ready to play. This is it. The team's title is on the line.
Look at all the belts
I know,
on stage.
This is the Shirewolves' final match in this championship match. Mark, rules of round number 1.
In round number 1, this is the team format. However, round number 1 is an
Chance.
individual exercise of movie trivia, Schmodown know-how. The field will hear 8 questions from 8 different genres of cinema.
To be fair, you're on the comfort of your own home, and he's on the lights in a title match. I think there's a slight difference.
You give or take 15 seconds to
in
write
terms
down
of
your
pressure
best attempt
and
at
what
an
it does to your
answer
head.
on the whiteboard that we have so kindly provided in front of you with the marker that RB3 picked up not an hour ago at Michael's. Once the question is asked and we address you by your first name, please reveal what you wrote on the whiteboard to your camera. At the same time, you verbalize your attempt at an answer into the microphone. Each team has 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. If you're not sure you heard a question, you just want to buy yourself another 15 seconds, use the JTE rule. You also each have 1 challenge to be used at any point throughout the 5-round match. Christian,
I do want to say I was very
good.
tempted
It does feel good.
to already
So we ask the champions first. Are
mark
you ready?
8 for you because I already know that you're going to get a perfect round.
And the challengers, are you ready?
We're ready. Let's get it.
But I thought it was a little premature.
All right.
Get it.
And to be fair, this is a title
Round number
match.
one comes from the realm of comedies. Everybody, comedies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Who stars as a basketball player named Jackie Moon in the sports comedy Semi-Pro?
I've been watching that Mindhunter.
People like it.
Yeah.
You like it too?
I like the lead. He reminds me of a young Matthew Modine.
I kind of like it, but I know it's not great.
3,
No.
2,
I'm happy that I didn't
1. We'll
watch
start with
Will
Clark
Ferrell.
Wolf.
Will Ferrell?
Yes,
Oh,
Mike.
Will Ferrell. I'm a
Rachel.
bit behind you, I guess.
Chance.
Will Ferrell.
Tie 1. There we go.
All right. Funny movie apart should have been great.
There we go.
2-2.
2-2. That is the score at the moment.
We'll move on to dramas.
Yes.
Dramas is your next category, and your query is: Joel Schumacher directed Demi Moore, Rob Lowe, and Emilio Estevez in what 1980s movie? Where were you in the 1980s, Christian George? What were you doing?
80s, I remember.
Sitting in a
Great
bar,
theme
pool,
song,
Swimming around, eating
bad
grilled
movie.
cheese sandwiches like me.
Did you have cameras
Bad,
on?
bad
I don't. I didn't do
What's
Joel
Christian
Schumacher.
doing today, Mom?
3, 2. I'm going to
Yeah,
go visit him
I
in
can count as good
California.
ones on one hand.
Hands down, Mike Kalinowski.
St. Elmo's Fire.
No.
Oh, I had the Breakfast Club.
Elmo's Fire.
Yes, Chance.
St.
That
Elmo's
was
Fire.
And
not.
Clark.
St. Elmo's Fire.
So
John
only
Hughes.
Clark, only Mike misses there. 4-3.
Ooh.
Flatliners
I-
answered not as bad. I heard Flatliners. I'm like, oh wait, there's a lot
To
of
be fair,
people. Yeah, there's
Schumacher
some
did
crossover
direct
there.
All right,
Flatliners.
3
That
is
was pretty good.
Question 3 is from directors. Directors. Who directed the films Darkman and A Simple Plan?
You wonder something great about St. Elmo's Fire?
I would love to.
So there's like the sax player in that movie.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He performed at the sexy sax player. He's still
thought
got
he
the.
was-
He's
Don't tell
still
Peter,
got
am
the
I
hair.
right?
No, there's another sax player.
Oh.
5,
Maybe he's the real sax player
4,
because Rob Lowe wasn't hitting that.
3,
hard. Maybe it was.
2,
You're welcome.
I'm not gonna.
1. Pens down and
Yeah,
Rachel.
don't count it, Nico.
Sam Raimi.
Sam
Yes,
Raimi.
Chance.
Sam Raimi.
Clark.
Sam Raimi.
Mike.
Sam Raimi.
Yep, there we go. So 6-5.
Sam Raimi.
Question down by 1. Question down by 1. And next question mark, number 4.
We move on to the world of fantasy/science fiction. Question is, what film stars Bradley Cooper as a struggling writer who uses a mysterious pill that allows him to use 100% of his brain abilities?
it.
I think you know the question I'm going to ask you. How much of your brain
It's a good one.
are you using right now?
Oh, 2%. I have no sleep,
right.
but I would also say that.
Oh,
It's nice for all the fans that are watching.
Fine. Oh, sorry.
You
5.
got 2%.
I don't remember this
4.
one.
That's a lot more than
Well,
yours.
there's a
You got
show
3,
based on it.
2,
We have different
1. Pens
That's
down,
true.
please.
Limitless.
Chance.
Limitless.
Yes. Clark.
Limitless.
Limitless.
Mike.
Limitless.
Rachel.
Limitless.
There you go. So Rachel, Clark, and Chance right now. Perfect innings. All right, here is the next category. Number 5 is movie release dates.
Yes.
In what year did G.I. Joe Retaliation come out? The classic.
Yeah. This is what we call a perfect round buster. Right here.
Wait,
That is
the classic
5,
or like
4,
the one that came out recently?
3,
The one that came out
2,
recently.
1. Clark, what do you
More
got?
recent.
2007?
No,
I'm not
Mike.
sure. 2011.
2013.
Yes, Rachel.
2011?
2011.
And Chance.
Damn it.
2013.
Wow.
Boom.
So KOrruption takes the lead there. Mike gets that one right. Chance is the only one who's still perfect.
They actually
Next
knew
one.
that.
All right. Next question
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I wasn't sure on it.
is in the world of animated movies. These are movies drawn by hand or on a computer. The question is 2%.
Jesus Christ.
In the world of animated movies, who voices the character of Valka, Hiccup's mother, in How to Train Your Dragon 2 and 3? And you and I have, you know, say 10, 15 bucks?
10, 15. Oh,
Yeah, if
You wanna say
Nico
10 bucks?
doesn't
No.
get this, then his
I got
How to
you.
Train Your Dragon card is revoked.
I'm not going steak
5,
dinner.
4, 3,
Yeah.
2,
Kate
Kate
Blanchett.
Blanchett.
Start with Mike.
I'm close.
No, Rachel.
Oh,
Kate
wow,
Blanchett.
Mike, wow.
Kate Blanchett.
And Clark.
Emma Thompson.
Okay, so tie it up now. Right? We tie it up? No. Sorry, Corruption's still up by 1.
I would have won some money.
Corruption's still up by
So
1 here.
Chance is the
10-9.
only one
Next
perfect.
Next one, so
So
only
far.
Chance is perfect still.
So far. 2
question
questions left.
7. Horror/thriller. What is the first name of Nev Campbell's character in the Scream franchise?
You and I are going to go see a little horror movie.
I don't do screams.
Excited about that?
Very excited.
The one with the clown?
Sex and the City 3.
It's like the only horror franchise I haven't seen a single movie
4.
from.
3.
One,
It's a popcorn
one of the
carousel.
few.
1. Pen
Bridget.
down, please,
Sydney.
and Rachel.
Sydney Prescott.
Sydney.
Yes, and Chance.
Sydney.
Clark.
Sydney.
Mike.
Sydney.
Got it. Okay, so
Jesus Christ.
Corruption
You're
keeps the
killing
lead,
it.
12-11. So we come down to this. As far if Chance hits it, Chance will be the only one to get a perfect round, and we'll have the bonus question.
Well, good, because the kid drove from Arizona to get here tonight, so I think he deserves it. All right, action adventure. The question, last question, round 1 is, what is the title of the sequel to the Jackie Chan Owen Wilson movie Shanghai Noon?
So Chance
And
and Corruption.
sense of frustration boils over the crowd.
Look at this score already, 12-11.
This is what you pay for. I mean, these are 2 of the
I hope
best
this
teams
is it.
All right,
I've
all
ever
right,
seen.
Chance. Let's see if you
4,
got it.
3.
I don't.
2.
Shanghai
1
Nights?
down.
Shanghai
Chance,
Nights.
Shanghai Knights.
perfect
There it is.
game for
Shanghai
him.
Nights.
Yes, Mike.
Shanghai Knights.
Chance.
Shanghai
Chance?
Nights.
All right,
That's
so
what's
Chance
great
got
for
it.
it.
So only Chance.
Well,
Bravo.
done, Chance.
Bravo.
Those are the-
So Chance,
So now,
only
Chris,
you will be the one
let's
to
see
answer
if you
this.
can
do
get
not have
it.
to write it down. You just have to answer it 15 seconds. Are you ready for your question?
Yep.
Who played Lita Lestrange, Newt's former love,
Zoe
in
Kravitz.
Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald?
Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah.
Yes, for
Well
one more
done.
point. All right. So Corruption now takes a 2-point lead over the champions as we get into round number 2. So what you saw in that round, Mark, they both played really, really tight. All had strong first rounds, all of them, but Chance struggled just a little bit by getting the perfect
You
round.
say play tight as in how the kids use the slang tight. Like, man, that was a really tight first round. I enjoyed myself because they looked very confident
Yeah,
as well.
that's what I'm
I think there's a lot of, I say looseness.
Yeah,
I think the
very
Shirewolves
good
are playing
first
like
round.
they got nothing to lose.
Right.
Although there is a belt on the
Very
line. And
close
Corruption
still.
matching that kind of energy. So it's going to be interesting to see what do you spin in round number 2. Are you going to get a favorable category? If somebody spins something they're
You know
not
what?
confident, is that going to throw the team
Since-
chemistry off?
Since
we're gonna
we
find
are
out
on
this
sort of
round
opposite
number
ends of the
2,
spectrum,
the wheel
Yes, it
round.
is.
We
Want to take
begin.
Corruptions round
Mark,
2, and
how
I'll
does
take
that work?
It is the
Shirewolves
Wheel
round
of
2.
Fate, Doom, and Justice.
Can I just
on
take
that third wheel,
whichever
you're gonna
round
see
is
12
category I'm good
different
at?
categories from 10 different corners of the movie Trivia
Fine.
Showdown Galaxy. A note to the teams and the competitors: there is no opponents
Look,
and spinners
I'm
choice
going
on
to go
that wheel,
for
so
a
each
geek belt
wedge
at
is
the end of
actually
the
year.
fair,
Not-
or you
not-
could answer 6 questions.
not
from
4
each
questions,
question
it's 6.
is worth 2 points.
Typo.
There's
It
no
is.
penalty for missing a question. However,
I-
there
I
is stealing
think
of a one
they-
round at number 2.
this
So
is like-
if the teams
Oh, no.
are not sure of the answer, you can ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you
Never
4
mind.
options, one of which is the correct answer. That way the value of the question goes down to 1. Keep in mind, teams, you can confer with your
Well, it's
teammate
supposed to
for
be
each
4,
and
'cause
every
maybe Dan
round
was
2
supposed to cash in the
question.
belt,
Each
but-
team still has all their JTE rules and all their challenges remaining. Christian, back to you with the weather.
Oh,
All right, so
not
we
single.
will ask the
team.
challengers first because
yeah,
of the
fair enough.
2-point lead at the moment. Would you guys like to go
They
first
would
or
reduce the
second?
question number for
We're gonna go
triple
first.
Go
threats.
first, please. Spin from the wheel, please.
Yes.
Not the pegs.
Right.
Please, Mike,
That's
not
true.
the
Okay.
pegs.
Mike, get him, Mike.
Now the champions chose not to have opponents in spinner's choice on there, so
They're gonna go
I
first.
know Mike's looking for James Bond.
That's
That's
right. Mike
interesting.
loving some James Bond. I think Chance would support him in that quest.
They don't
But
like to
look,
play
even
from
if these guys
behind.
spin something that I think the Shirewolves would be great at, like a fantasy sci-fi horror.
yeah.
I don't put it past Corruption to be able to get a lot of those answers right.
Starting to slow down.
It's looking like Bond.
Starting to slow down now, a little
No,
past
no,
it.
no, it's not looking
Where's
like
it going?
Bond.
It was literally the opposite of Bond.
2000.
2000. Both gentlemen were alive during some of this decade.
So they're going to spin again.
Oh, they spin again. I'm good at it.
So whatever they get here, they got to
So whatever it is.
So they're spinning
I mean,
on the wheel.
Chance
They're
wants
doing it
Pixar.
for Bond. No, they're looking for Meryl
There's
Streep.
a,
Mike
there's a
wants
crowd
Bond.
chanting for Meryl Streep, who could not be here tonight, unfortunately, due to a
Is
prior
Meryl
commitment.
Streep on the wheel?
Wanna not
Yes,
get
she
as
is.
hard
Yes, she is.
If I was them.
Oh,
But
come
here's
on,
it
Meryl
goes.
Streep.
Spins around. It's coming around.
It's actually.
Could be Meryl
No.
Christian, I don't believe it.
No! Fuck! Make this shit up! Chris, I will take corruption round,
They're going to
please.
get 6 questions. I got in the realm. That's right. And Clark will
I
just put a
regret
little
my
more mustard
decisions.
in her spin of the wheel when she
You-
gets up.
oh
That's
my
right.
God,
So
I
you
very
do
much
not-
regret my decisions.
All right. So we asked the challengers here. You got your
Oh,
question, Ron. Are you
Lord
ready?
almighty.
Here we go. Okay, 6 questions. First question. Name the film from the plot. James Bond investigates the hijacking of British and Russian submarines carrying nuclear warheads with the help of a KGB agent whose lover...
The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yep.
That's like one of my favorite Bond movies.
Same.
The Spy Who Loved Me.
Correct for 2 points. Off to a hot start. All right.
Roger Moore's best, in my
The
opinion.
second question, you're going to have 20
bar
seconds
none.
to answer this question. John Glenn holds the record for directing the most James Bond films with how many entries to
5.
his name?
5.
Yep.
That is correct.
No 20 seconds.
All right. John Glenn, famed astronaut, also directed movies. Question 3. Spectre opens with James Bond carrying out an unauthorized mission on the Day of the Dead in which Latin American city?
Mexico City.
I mean, it would be a place in Mexico because that's where they celebrate the Day of the
Mexico
Dead.
City?
Yes. 2 more points, and they are perfect halfway through.
That wasn't the
round number 2,
trailer
as we
where
expected
M
when they
asked Bond,
spun
like,
James
Mexico
Bond.
City, what were you doing there?
In License to Kill, villain Franz Sanchez torments Felix Leitier by having
Lighter.
what type of animal attack him?
A shark.
A tiger
He's
shark.
dangled over a
specifically,
shark tank.
That's correct. With
Great
three
white shark.
laser beams. Yeah.
Tiger.
All right. Number 5.
Oh.
Marine biology.
Which James Bond movie marks the first appearance of John Cleese in the franchise?
The World Is Not Enough.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's that 007 wit.
5.
The World Is Not Enough.
If he's cute, does that make him? If you're cute, does that make him R?
And your final question in this round. Final question. Which actress played Bond girl Tiffany Case in Diamonds
Ooh.
Are Forever?
I don't know. Multiple choice. Go for multiple choice. Don't know.
Jill St. John.
4.
Multiple choice, please.
Is it A, Jill Ireland, B, Jane Seymour, C, Jill St. John, D, Maud Adams?
Jesus Christ, like you know that.
Jill St. John.
For 1 point. All right, so what a round.
Damn, what a round.
They've been getting Bond lately, and they got it again. And now Clark
The left hand self-wing forward. Yeah, it's the lucky charm essentially. All right, let's go.
Come on, Clark.
Come on,
Work your
Clark.
magic. Work your magic, Clark.
Horror thriller. Or just the category you guys are good at.
Depending on what they land on. But this is the last time we will see Clark Wolf spinning this wheel.
I definitely want a
To
horror
that,
thriller.
She says goodbye to the wheel.
I know you would.
And the wheel. What a relationship the wheel and Clark Wolf.
Wheel
have.
of morality.
Taking
Turn,
many
turn,
turns,
turn.
you would
Learn
say?
a lesson.
Oh, and look at it. Oh, and they
Ah!
use it hard. So dramas. Looking at each other.
It's kind of broad.
They're going to go for it.
They'll take it.
Going for dramas. Settling for
All
dramas.
right.
Uh-oh.
They're going to go for
Interesting.
dramas here, Mark.
It's
And that is what
so
we like around
broad.
here
It's
at
a
the Movie
crapshoot.
Trivia Schmodown. All right.
But
you have
hey,
spun
they're the
dramas,
champ for a
so
reason.
you win
Yeah.
6 questions. Each one worth 2
kinda
points.
didn't really have weaknesses
Your first
on
of
that wheel.
6 in the 2016 film The Lost City of Z. Who stars as British soldier and
Charlie Hunnam.
explorer Percy
Charlie Hunnam.
Fawcett?
Charlie Hunnam.
Great set of abs on that gentleman. 2 points. The next question for 2 more. In Good Will
Oh,
Hunting,
this is
what
your
phrase does Sean tell Will didn't apply to him when his wife was sick and in the hospital?
I've seen this before.
What movie did they say?
Good Will
Good
Hunting.
Will Hunting.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, doctor's orders, B, visiting hours, C, court order,
Visiting
or
hours.
D, operating hours?
Visiting hours.
Does not apply to Robin Williams. That's a point. All right, your next question, making it the halfway point in round of number 2. In the 2015 film Brooklyn, Saoirse Ronan plays a young woman who emigrated to New York from what country?
Oh, hey, diddly ho, she
2
traveled from
more
Ireland.
points for the Shirewolves.
Nice.
I was gonna say the answer, but I didn't want to interrupt that accent.
I think they all have
Oh,
one of those
thank you.
recap
Now
accents.
this is Chris's round.
Question number 4. 2 more points.
I
Who
apologize
plays
for the first
Shailene
question.
Woodley's love interest in the 2014 film The Fault in Our Stars?
Oh my
Miles
God.
Teller.
Ansel Elgort.
Oh, it
No,
was
Val
Elgort.
Kilmer, and that's
I was
2 more
thinking
points.
Ansel Elgort.
Jesus.
All right, so the Shirewolves have made it competitive, at least in round number 2, but they have 2 more questions
Oh, I was thinking of
remaining, and that can
Whiplash.
pull them to it into
Duh.
of
Yeah.
corruption. Your penultimate question in round number 2. Who plays young Marcus in the 2002 comedy drama About a Boy?
Nicholas Holt.
This
Wow.
Is, I mean, both of them. This is why they're up
I
there.
maybe would have
and
gotten that
we're
multiple
over here.
choice.
All
It's
right,
funny
last
how you
question
hear
for
her
Shirewolves in
whisper
round
the
number 2
answer and
to
then she
pull down
says
a
it.
possible 2 points. Corruption.
Microphones
In
are working
Michael
overtime.
Radford's film 1984, based on the George Orwell novel, who played the lead role of Winston Smith?
What?
Multiple choice.
Is it A. John Hurt, B. Richard Burton, C. F. Murray Abraham, or D. Christopher Lambert?
F. Murray Abraham? Maybe?
AKA the villain in How to Train Your Dragon 3.
John Hurt.
They have cut the lead to 3.
No.
So what a round by the Wolves. And
Hey, that was
Corruption has a 3-point lead as we go into round number 3, and it looks exactly that because Mike hit Bond, but
Yeah.
the Shirewolves fought right back, stuck with drama.
Were you
and now
surprised they spun drama?
they stuck with drama?
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit. but
Okay,
then I
so
saw that
Nico has
that's
2
what
points
I'm
to
looking at
bet.
horror, I'm looking at fantasy sci-fi. That is what has always impressed
Chris
me
and I
about
can
them
bet
over the
3.
years is that they can spin any
Just saying.
category.
Sorry,
and
not
just
trying to
run
be
I was saying,
ramp
Nico,
up
you
right
want to borrow
through it.
one of
It
my
does not
points?
have to be something that they, but all.
But I will expect
Corruption and
2
Mike
when
Kalinowski,
you
because
if
can
you get it
talk a big
right.
game with James Bond movies, and Chance got a lot of those
I
questions
need to
right
see
too.
the category.
They were able to pay
It depends on the
They
category,
wrote
that's
the
true.
ego that their body cast with the check.
Both teams playing very strong together. Now we get into the betting round, round number 3. How's it go, Mark?
The betting round, the whiteboard, and the magic markers come back into play just for a little bit here in the movie trivia showdown because this is known as the betting round. The winning team at the moment is Corruption, so they will have a spin at the wheel in just a minute. Once you spin a category, one question will be asked to the field. This question can be of a point value of the team's choosing. It can be worth as many as 3 points. It can be worth as little as 0 points. Once you see what category is spun, please write down your wager from 0 to 3 on the whiteboard. Show it only to one of our judges or to us at the answer desk. And then we will ask the question. Once the question is asked, the teams may confer, and they may write down your best attempt
And at least
answer
unlike
on
Jim
the
Green,
whiteboard.
Nico
Now,
has
keep
points
in
to
mind,
bet.
if you get the answer right, you gain as many points as you wager. If you get the question wrong,
Fired.
you lose that many points. So when Corruption is
fine,
ready,
I
you
know I
may
can
elect a
smoke 'em.
representative to have one more spin of the wheel that has been kind to you in this match.
All right, so Mike is going to hit the wheel once again. He's been lucky at that wheel.
That's right.
Those are the designated
That there a wheel?
And that is the last spin of the wheel here ever. And the last time we
For
ever
the
see a
game.
Shirewolves match, that's the last spin of the wheel.
The last
that we will
spin
get.
of the wheel. If it's been James Bond, the studio.
If they
will
say
burn
the last spin of the wheel one more time.
And they spin.
Here it comes, round and round.
I've heard a rumor that this is the last time they
Mike
used this
Clark
wheel. I
puts
heard they
some
got a
good
new
spins
one.
on
It is, but what's it going to land on?
Really?
Looks like it's drama again.
Hey, we're happy.
Drama,
We got
okay.
one of those in stock.
All right, so drama.
Well then.
And so the team
Well
has
then.
to write
Fuck
their
it.
questions down here.
Fuck
with the category.
Fuck it.
Drama, excuse me. Their points.
Yeah.
And here we go.
What would you wager in drama?
I mean, what
0 to
can I
3?
really lose? It's
Back
just
in the
imaginary
I
point.
give 3 points. What
Exactly.
the hell?
All right.
I've lived a good life.
That's fine.
3 points.
Okay.
2,
well, the
'cause that's
Shirewolves,
all I
the pick is
have.
in, and the pick is in for Corruption as well. So the wagers have been placed. Christian, when you are ready, read your best dramatic question in your best dramatic voice.
All right, here we go. All right, so in the category of drama, in the film Drumline, who plays Dr. Lee, who is head of the band?
Okay, my points are gone.
Yeah. Favorite
Wait, the
drama?
head of the band, or the teacher.
John Denson?
Shit.
From the
I have a guess. I'm just gonna go for it.
3,
Why not?
2,
Go with Keith Moon.
1. All right, we start with the Shirewolves. How many points?
Nick Cannon?
You bet 2.
Orlando
You said.
Jones.
Orlando Jones.
And how many points for Corruption?
2.
And you said?
Orlando Jones.
Also correct. So,
All right.
Shirewolves actually gained there.
Glad I saw this movie like 3 times in high school.
It is now 25 25-28.
This is incredible.
Right.
This is the, you show up to a
Drum
match and
line.
you think it's going to be a good, well-contested match, and it's going to come down to the wire. I mean, 28-25. This is why you and I got excited to call
Are we
this.
ready?
You know, we were working hard today. You did Collider Live.
Yep,
I took an extended nap, watched some more Mindhunter, and we prepared for this thing tonight. You hope it's going to be a good match. You can never bet on what exactly is going to turn out, but so far, as well played as we possibly could have hoped for. And now we go on to round number 4. But before we get to that, we want to remind everybody out there of some upcoming live events, including next weekend. We are going to be in the Big Apple, New York City, August 31st.
New York.
Showdown is back live. We
You guys
got
will
New
be
York,
there.
then we got Arizona,
Yes, we
then
will.
we got Orlando, where I will be naked at a water park.
Well, that's not true, but we do have also a couple folks here,
At a
don't we?
water
We do.
So tell them.
We do. Why don't you buy me some time? And
Oh,
we'll
buy
get
us
what
some
that
time.
code
All right,
is.
we'll come
Yeah.
back over after the fourth round. So
The
fourth round
promo
here.
code is Shirewolves. You can get tickets for any live event right now, Orlando or New York. Enter the promo code Shirewolves in the next 24 hours, and you get a sweet discount. The code is Shirewolves.
I believe it's a 2-for-1 right now. So here we
Ooh.
go.
Is it really?
I think so. I have to look. But go ahead and read the rules here for the speed round.
This is the buzzer round. This is the lightning round. As Christian said, it is the speed round. It is a test of wits, guile, and then movie trivia know-how. Once Christian Harloff asks a question at the desk, that question is going to be worth 1 point. The question is asked to the field. However, because you have buzzers in front of you, whoever buzzes in first and their buzzer lights up green, I will say your first name. Once I complete saying your first name, you have exactly 2 seconds. We go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. If you get the question correct within that time frame, your team gets a point. If you get the question wrong or you're not able to complete your answer by the time the 2 seconds is up, your team loses a point.
Oh,
Keep in mind,
and
if
we
you buzz
also
in, it
won't
is
see
you
the
and
questions
only you.
on
You may
screen,
not
so
rely
we
on the knowledge of
hear
your
them
teammate
as they hear
once
them.
you buzz in. Now,
Absolutely.
because this is the buzzers
Yep.
and this is electronic, we like to do a little test run. So everybody out there watching right now, this is how we test stuff around the Movie Trivia Schmodown. We just say F it, and we do it live. So, Clark, I'm going to ask you a question first. It's going to be a pretty easy one to answer, and I want you to buzz in and then say your answer. So, Clark, where is the Movie Trivia Schmodown going live next week?
New York.
What?
Okay.
Name a city on the East Coast.
Us first, though.
Clark.
New York.
There
Hey.
we go. Looks like we've been practicing this all day.
Christ.
All right, Rachel, name the football team that has as its quarterback Tom Brady.
New England Patriots, those
The mother effing
bastards.
Patriots.
That is correct. Just got it in under the gun there.
Don't do it.
All right.
Don't do it.
Mike
Don't make me
Kalinowski,
say it.
just tell me your favorite Indiana Jones movie after you buzz in. Mike.
Temple of Doom.
All right.
What?
Really?
And
No!
Chance Ellison. In
No!
under 2 seconds, once you buzz in, it is nighttime. Why are you wearing sunglasses, young man?
Because I can.
Okay. All right.
I mean, fair enough.
We are ready to go, and to let everybody know, just so if you did put in that code of Shirewolves, it is $7 off.
It's
any
not about the
ticket, and that's
function.
both
Trying to give him
Is
away
that how
2 for
they
1.
look? Yeah.
Look at Bob Cratchit over here. Scrooge has to tell you, it's just $7 off.
$7 off. Okay. All right. So we asked the champions first. You ready?
Yes.
Challengers are ready.
All right, we do ask the crowd to try to hold your applause until the end of the speed round. 5 questions. Christian will be reading all 5 questions. I will be saying the name for all 5 questions at your ready, sir.
Here we go. The 1996 comedy Kingpin revolves
Bowling.
around
Bowling.
Rachel.
correct.
There we go.
Which sport?
There we go. Good guess.
All right. Which film stars the following actors? Val Kilmer, Michael Rappaport, Dennis Hopper, Brad Pitt, Gary Oldman, Sam
True
Jackson.
Romance.
Oh,
True
True
Romance.
Romance. Yes. Jesus.
Third question. Name the movie from this quote. Oh, this is going to be fun. We can stay up late,
Shrek.
swapping manly stories, and in the morning,
Chance.
Shrek.
yes.
Yeah.
I can make
He
what?
said it while I said his name.
I will go then.
Okay. Remember to wait till Mark says your name before you answer.
Sorry.
Question 4. Who plays linguist Louise Banks in
Amy Adams.
Arrival?
Amy Adams.
Chance.
Amy Adams.
Yes.
Yes.
So Corruption back to a 3-point lead. One more question
Love
remaining.
that
Final
movie.
question. Who directed 1991's Point Break?
Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow.
Yes. Chance came on. Rachel
That was a good
strong.
round.
Finished it up
Jesus.
there,
And look
hitting
at
the
Chance,
last
how
three.
well he did in his
So
first
now
speed round.
Corruption sees himself with a
He's never been in
4-point
one.
lead.
No.
That's the biggest lead they've
Impressive.
had going into any round here tonight, Chris. As we go
Jesus.
into round number 5.
What's the highest score that's
I don't
been
want to say it was a proverbial
in a
passing
team
of Rachel coming on early.
Yes.
No competitor missed a question in the speed
We
round.
could see that
That's
broken.
impressive in its own right.
Well, now,
Yes.
because of that, we
Good.
get to the 5th and final round.
I believe
the
it's one of the
championship
Patriots
round.
versus Buffalo line matches. One of the two. Of course, not
Here it
counting
is,
the Iron Man, which was way
final
higher.
5th round for the Shirewolves. Go ahead. How does it go?
Hope I can keep myself together for 6 more questions.
I believe it was their
round
second
number
match.
5. This is how it works. This is how we determine our winner and who will be holding the belts at the end in the post-match interview. Each team is going to hear 3 questions. We get these questions from you. You give us a series of numbers that can range from 0 to 20. Each number you give us corresponds to a different corner of movie trivia schmodown know-how. Your first question is going to be worth 2 points. Your next one's worth 3 points. Your last one, should we make it that far, is worth 5 points. Because this is the team match, once we tell you the category for the 2-point question, the team will decide which member is going to answer individually. You may not rely on your teammate for the 2-point question. When we get to the 3-point question, the opposite team member will have to answer that question individually. And then when we get to the 5-pointer, the teams may collaborate only on that question. There is no penalty for missing a question in round number 5.
All right, so we asked the challengers here who have a 4-point lead for their 3 numbers between 1 and 20.
This is always tough for some people.
12 and 14 for the challengers and for the champions.
Okay.
4, 8, and 19.
4, 8, and 19 for the challengers who will go
All right,
first.
good numbers.
All right, so the Shirewolves will start with category number 4. Category number 4 for the Shirewolves. All right, Shirewolves, the category, the 80s.
Okay. Clark.
The 1980s.
Yeah,
1980s,
probably Clark.
Not the 1880s.
Yes.
Unless the question's back to the
I
future
will
Part
take
3.
it.
You're going to take
Okay.
it. All right.
Okay.
Who stars as radio funny man Adrian Cronair in Good Morning Vietnam?
Robin Williams.
For 2 points.
I love when they say funny, man.
All right, so now Rachel will try to tie up the game here with category number 8.
They actually take the lead here by 1.
Yes.
That's right. All 3
You're
points.
right.
If we give her all 3 points.
That's right. Sorry. Like I said, 2% different. All right. Rachel is number category 8, the 2010s.
Okay.
2010s. Okay, here we go. Who played Casey Affleck's nephew, Patrick, in Manchester by the Sea?
Lucas
Hedges.
Lucas Hedges.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So, the Shirewolves have gotten themselves out of
Blanking on the
TKO
last
territory. Now bounces to
Yeah, there's a lot of
Corruption,
Lucas
who has to hit their
actors.
2-pointer to force the Shirewolves to hit their
Yes.
5-pointer,
And
they
the
chose
most embarrassing
2.
thing is that I didn't think of an actor.
Oh, you thought of my dear old rival? Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that guy that you face every year in a tournament down too.
Category of classics.
3 years in a row.
Chance, is it Mike? Whoever selects this category have to answer
Make it 4 next year.
individually.
I'll take it.
Chance is going to take classics.
Classic.
For 2 points,
With
Chance. Your
Chance.
question.
That's interesting.
Name the actor who co-directed as well as starred in Singin' in the Rain.
Gene Kelly.
This is for 2 points in the lead.
Stanley Donen.
Incorrect.
Wait,
Looking
then that's
Wow.
Singing in the Rain was not written and directed, not starred and directed by the same person.
Co-directed.
Co-directed.
He said co-directed.
So are you challenging it?
Yeah.
I
No.
definitely
Would
said
you like to use your
co-directed.
challenge?
I didn't hear co-directed.
Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
We're not going
All right,
to.
so they-
Well, there goes his perfect game.
You missed.
Been withdrawn.
Okay,
Ruling
so
for Gene Kelly.
There's the miss on that one.
Gene
All
Kelly.
right, so now
I
we
like
go to
them
Mike,
apples, Chance.
who's got to hit his 3. Mike's got to hit his 3, which
3.
is category 12, which is category number
Failure to hear the question. Use your repeats when needed.
12.
Yeah.
Mike,
He
you're
should've.
going to be answering a question about Pixar movies.
Oh, what a role reversal.
All right.
Wow.
Oh,
And your
damn it.
question is,
Ouch.
what is the name of the grumpy keymaster and administrator to Scarefloor F in Monsters, Inc.?
Wazowski, where's that paperwork?
Oh, Roz.
Roz,
Roz.
5, 4.
Louis.
Yeah.
Ross. So now we're in a position here.
Shit.
We're in a position here that they need to hit their 5-pointer, or the Shirewolves will retain.
Someone
the
just said
titles.
something really funny to
So
Clark.
Category.
A little tense in here now, huh?
Category number 14 for corruption, correct? Is it number 14?
That's right. 14 for corruption. They trail by 1. However, if they get this question right, then they're going to be back in the lead by 4 and force the hand of the Shirewolves to answer their 5-point question. Just another day in the neighborhood known as the Movie Trivia Schmodown. Corruption, number 14, corresponds to the category of romantic comedies. So I call them rom-com.
Ow.
Ooh.
For 5 points.
These have not been all that
Question,
kind of
which you may
chance in the
confer with
past.
your teammate on.
No.
How does Mel Gibson get the power to hear women's thoughts in what
He
women
gets electrocuted in a bathtub by a hairdryer.
Yeah.
He gets electrocuted in the bathtub.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Damn it.
corruption is back on top.
All right. So now, after what was almost a
They have-
disaster of a collapse,
Yeah.
now
New
the
points
Shirewolves
record
have a
in
chance to still
possibility
win the game
here.
now. They can win the
Yeah,
game
if
because
they
of the two
hit it.
misses.
How do they do that?
All they have to do is hit their 5-pointer. If they hit the 5-pointer, they walk off into the sunset with the belts. However, if they miss, corruption are the new Movie Trivia Schmodown team champions of the world.
And for us at the announcer desk, it's Miller time either way because there is no chance of overtime.
No. All right. Here we go. Your category, was number 19, 5-pointer. Here it is. In the film 12 Monkeys.
what's our
You
category?
need your
I didn't say it.
category.
Oh, 12
Should've said it.
monkeys.
Yes,
Oof.
one of the
Okay.
guys in there.
I think they like that.
Brad Pitt.
Brad
Brad
Pitt.
Pitt. Sorry. Brad Pitt.
He's an actor.
Yep.
Okay, I think they will know this one.
In 12 Monkeys, who plays Dr. Peters, who is actually behind the viral outbreak?
Ooh.
15 seconds.
Um,
They have all three. All of their JTE rules, so this could get stretched out.
David Morse.
5, 4.
Repeat
3.
the question.
Here's the first one. In 12 Monkeys, who plays Dr. Peters, who is actually behind the viral outbreak?
You can hear a pin drop right now.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't for Harloff and Ellis talking.
4, 2.
Repeat the question.
Okay,
Shit.
in 12 Monkeys, who plays Dr. Peters, who's actually behind the viral outbreak. One JT rule.
They're using all their JT rules.
Yeah.
I want them to challenge too. Just
I
use
know.
everything.
Get to it. What's going to happen? 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Last one, and here
I
it
think
is.
they have an
12 Monkeys,
answer. They
who
just
plays
want
Dr.
to
Peters,
make sure of it.
who is actually behind the viral outbreak. 15 seconds
And all
to the end
corruption
of the
can do
match.
is wait.
We're gonna find out. Two champions, or did the Shirewolves walk off with?
I was sure of the answer. Are you, Chris?
We find out in
Pretty
5,
sure.
Shirewolves will ever have.
4, 3, 2, 1.
James Cromwell.
And your winners and
Wow.
team champions.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
The answer was David Morse.
Wow.
David Morse was the answer.
A great guess by the Shirewolves,
Yeah,
and
look at that moment. Look at that moment
It's
right
such
there.
a special
Look at
passing
this.
of the torch from Rachel Cushing and Mike Kalinowski, from Clark and Rachel to Mike and Chance. The belts have been
Jeez.
passed. The torch has been passed. But
Oh.
what will
Anyone-
not be extinguished
anyone-
is the light that
Shush.
the Shirewolves
You shut
have
your
left
mouth.
on this league.
Well, of course. I mean, what a fight. They went out fighting. They went out kicking. They went out, I mean, they were scrapping up to the very end 5-pointer. And Corruption almost had one of the most historical collapses of all time in that 5th round.
That's right, and I love watching the Shirewolves play because you knew that they were not going to leave anything, no stone unturned. They were not going to leave JTE rules on the table. Nope. They did everything they could. That's how you play the game. You feel your way around it. You save your JTE rules for the end for that big 5-point question. They couldn't quite come up with a correct answer this time, but again, that should not diminish all of the correct answers that they've had over so many matches, over so many years in the movie Trivia Schmodown. Worthy champions having
There
the
is still 50 minutes left in this.
And they fought their
So
heart out.
the interviews are taking forever.
They scrapped it.
Or,
like I said, you look at everything.
I feel like something's about to happen here.
Boy, was he ready.
Chance Ellison came to play the perfect round in round number 1. Rachel Cushing was taking over that speed round, and then Chance took over the remainder of it. Chance Ellison, Mike Kalinowski was the MVP of that Founding Fathers match. Chance Ellison was the MVP of this match.
That's right. Chance even pitching in with some of the James Bond category questions. Chance throwing a perfect round number 1. You know, the kid drove from Arizona today. When I drive to Arizona, that's 6 hours. I immediately get to the hotel room. I sit in the bathroom for 20 minutes, and I take a nap. This kid got out of the car and answered a whole bunch of movie Trivia Schmodown questions correctly and earned a big belt because of it.
Well, look historically, and I'm sure Emma's going to be talking to them in just a moment, but historically, Chance Ellison is now the youngest champion we've ever had.
Is it, what is he, 14?
21. And Mike Kalinowski is now the third.
I mean, sure, he acts like it, but yes, he is 21.
He's got himself a match with Ben Bateman tomorrow to try to get himself.
And Roka's the oldest
with
with 125.
We're going to throw to Emma Fife, who is with the
it was 600.
Movie Trivia Schmodown team champions, Corruption.
Thanks, Christian. For a second there, I thought you were going to say Mike Kalinowski is now the oldest double-belted champion we've ever had.
No, that's still Roka.
Oh, that's okay. We all know Roka's the oldest champion we've ever had here
Also.
in the Trivia Schmodown.
212 going strong.
We are here with KOrruption, the new movie Trivia Schmodown tag team champions. Not really tag team. There's not a lot of tagging unless, Chance, though, was doing a good job with, tagging in on those buzzers there.
Mike is on the verge of crying.
Very impressive job considering it was your first time ever playing in a speed round.
Loose.
Thank you very much. I practiced this a lot for like several hours.
I understand. They're a little finicky, those buzzers. And Mike, you must be feeling pretty good there with that double weight on your shoulder, kind of evening things out.
It feels very good. It really does. And to get these belts in the manner that I did, I've said everything I've said about Rachel, so it's a little bittersweet.
It feels appropriate that both of Rachel's last matches were indeed against you, and both were really incredible. I mean, you guys have to be feeling pretty proud of your performance, considering like the Shirewolves. I mean, there's a reason that they were the team champions for so long.
We were going to lose there at the end. It was over. I mean, we both sat there and he goes, "Well, we got that many points. We did that well." And it's the way it goes. We usually would have done. I would have done the 2-point. He would have done the 3-point. I knew Gene Kelly, and he would have gotten that Pixar question easily. It's the way it goes. But people were talking last game how I had that perfect game, and they were cutting on this guy, and this guy held it. He took this match. It was his match that won it. These belts for us. It was all on this guy. Couldn't be proud of my teammates. I said this at the beginning. I want these belts. I want to intergeek him. I wanted him to have his first belt. We got that. I'm going for that third belt.
Oh, yeah.
We will have to see how that goes for you. And yes, Chance, aside from round 3, you pitched a perfect game. So.
Damn, yeah.
I mean, it feels good. It feels really good. What else do you want from me?
I would like you to take your sunglasses off, please, because I'm not entirely sure you have eyeballs behind you.
I don't think you have the authority to make that call, Emma. I don't think you do.
I think I will have it again very, very soon, though. And I think my first agree as commissioner when I am back in business is no more sunglasses.
Fuck.
Thank you, Ken Knapsack, for showing some class and immediately abiding. And so this is another big step for you guys towards total corruption domination.
Well, yes, it is. We are very excited about this, but the celebration here is muted. We'll be partying later in a downtown Burbank Hilton. But I'll tell you what, this is what this league is about and what it has grown to.
Kalinowski's like, I didn't know that was the plan.
It's about the past building where we are now. When this started, when Clark and Rachel were breaking barriers and coming in and becoming the league, young fans all around, like Chance, were sitting there dreaming, looking out their bus windows, thinking about the glory they one day reach. And look where we are now. It is a passing of the guard. I'm from the old pro wrestling world. This is what you do. Andre to Hulk, Hulk to Ultimate Warrior, Rock to Cena. This is what you do. You pass the baton. We are happy to take it. Corruption is about truth and destiny, but right now it is about respect for the legends that have come before us. Rachel, Clark, we're going to miss you. Come around to our party, though. We throw a good one.
I have a feeling that invitation is up for debate. And I have to say that, Grace Hancock, you are definitely a common denominator when it comes to factions having a lot of success in this league here. So,
well, Emma, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. As I've said many times, everything that I touch is gold. And you know what? Look, no hate on two ladies doing a great job. You know what I mean? I love seeing that, but sure. But there's also a time and a place, and out with the old and in with the new.
I mean, that's definitely
Yeah,
a
true.
new team in the league and a new era here on the Movie Trivia Schmodown. Thank you again to all of you, Corruption. I feel like there's usually more of you, but it's a very tight squeeze here.
There's two more. They're at the hotel warming the champagne.
Got it.
Warming the champagne?
Warming the champagne?
I don't think I want to go to this party anymore.
We drink everything warm.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Corruption. We will be back in just a moment
This
with
is so
Clark and
wrong.
Rachel, the
You
Shirewolves.
see Mike looking
All right,
like.
Mark. So look, you got the new team champions, and they had to earn it against the Shirewolves.
Oh,
They really had to earn it.
And people wonder why I never want to be in a
Mike is
faction.
double-belted champion with the potential to be a triple-belted champion.
So Nico,
they're having a hell of a year
God
here.
bless
They
you
beat
for
the
not
Founding
being
Fathers.
that awkward on
They
camera.
are now the Movie Trivia Schmodown team champions. But they really have to
It's not like I haven't tried.
and we are going to be able to hear from and talk.
Yeah,
about-
just watch
I
our,
wanna
just
know
watch our
what's going
promo
on
against
with the
Arkham
former
Knights for
champs,
that
you know,
one.
just to say thank you.
Just to hear their thoughts as
Or
they say
what's our
goodbye
promo
to
for,
the league as
We don't talk
they
about that
reflect on
case.
this match.
We
they
do.
reflect on all
We don't
the
talk
matches.
about
I
that
think,
case.
Dare I say they're
It
going to have
was
better
all
We don't talk
you.
about that
We're
case.
about to go drink
Shut up. The Shirewolves are about to talk in
All
a
right,
few
so
seconds.
let's get to Emma Fife, the former manager of the
Promo
Shirewolves,
against
who's with
Arkham
the
Knights
former
and
Movie Trivia
Silver
Schmodown
Shamrock.
team champions, the Shirewolves.
That's right, Mark. Not a tall order to top hot champagne.
Ah,
Can't say
jeez.
that's really got a lot of appeal to it, but some people who will always have appeal and legacy here in the Movie Trivia Schmodown are the Shirewolves, the former team champions. Clark Wolf, Rachel Cushing. I don't know if you guys can't see, but there's a standing ovation here in the studio. I mean, what is there to be said other than going into this match? It was truly win or lose, nothing but a victory lap.
I totally agree. I mean, honestly, we came, we played, we had a good time, and we took it down to the wire. And I feel really good about that. I think we made up ground that we had lost earlier in the game. We communicated, we worked hard, we had some good pulls. My buddy Orlando Jones, I love you. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Like, it really does. It feels like a victory lap, honestly. They played so well. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, this is the kind of, we want every championship match, whether we play in them or not, to be like this. You want them to be fights. You want people to have the drive and the heart to play the best that they can play. And what are you supposed to do when Kalinowski gets Bond? What are you supposed to do when Chance steps out and has a perfect first round? Like, these guys came to play and they're legit competitors and they are the future of the league. And we're really proud of how we played today. You know, it sucks to lose, it does, and we came to fight, and we fought as hard as we could given what we had, and we're both really proud of that fight, and just proud of everything that we've done so far.
Yeah, I mean, when a match comes down to a final question, especially when you had a couple times in there where you were coming in from behind, it really was. I mean, this is the stuff that championship matches are made of, for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, we didn't make it easy for them. And they didn't make it easy for us, too. So it was a great match.
Now, obviously, this is your final match ever here in the Schmodown as you are both headed towards retirement. But I just want to say, as somebody who formerly was your manager, just what a huge...
Keep it together.
Just
No.
what a huge impact
Don't
you
do
guys
it.
had on this league, and how special it was to me.
I don't want to cry.
Be there for the first time that you guys won those team belts, and the first time that, you know, women held belts in sort of the regular league outside of Intergeekdom. Much props to Mara for getting that belt, but and the effect that I have seen you guys have on just
the Schmodown community as a whole, particularly like the young women, some of them very young, I'm talking like 7 years old, who watch the Schmodown and who see you guys play and think, wow, I want to do that someday. Like, I could be Clark and Rachel, and I could, you know, have a belt in this weird thing that we do
This
that's
Sunday on
somewhere
Movie
between
Trivia Face-Off. Go watch it.
wrestling and like bar trivia. So I just want to say that I am so proud of everything that you guys have accomplished, and you know, even though you didn't actually win this match, you are still the team champions in my book.
Thank you. Thank you. Emma, honestly, the truth is we could not have done what we did without you as our manager. Like, end of story, absolutely. We would not be here without you. You pulled everything together. Mark, you completed this quadrant. and truly, you know, at the end of the day for me, I am so happy that we have, that maybe we have impacted and inspired young women, women of all ages. However, I'm also proud that the young men who are watching this game are seeing women win. And, and they're seeing us just as scrappy, just as passionate, just as fierce. And that's great, because that means we can all play. And so thank you.
Brings us the Jen Kemps and the Kristen
I
Smiths
don't really know
and
if I can
the
follow
Maggie
that,
Bacallas of the league.
but Clark always drops the mic in, and always in a spectacular way. And we're very proud to be the league for as long as we were, and very excited to pass the torch. But thank you to everybody, and you know, to 2.5 years ago, I never in a million years would have guessed this is where I'd be standing, or that anybody would look up to me for any reason. So that's been a huge thing, and I love all four of you. I love everybody in this room. Thank you for being here for our last go.
Thank you, guys. Now, don't go away, because we are going to be having a tribute to the Shirewolves. We're going to make our way back over to the main desk in just a moment here, and say some more goodbyes and sing Clark and Rachel's praises. I know there are a few other people that want to chime in here. So while we get set up for that, back to you, Mark and Christian, at the desk.
All right, so Clark Wolf, Rachel Cushing saying exactly the type of powerful words that they've been known to do in the past, and what a goodbye it was. And they did exactly what we thought that they would do. They went out and they went out fighting, Mark, right to the wire.
They went out fighting, and while Corruption's after party may be at the Burbank Hilton, the Shirewolves party is going to be happening on the airwaves, on modems, on the interwebs heretofore, because their legacy, their ability, their greatness will never be forgotten. And I echo Emma's sentiment where I said there's so many young people out there watching thinking that they could be the next Rachel or Clark. Well, there's a lot of people that are going to come into this league that may be great. There will never be another Clark Wolf. There will never be another Rachel Cushing. There's never going to be another Shirewolf.
Well said, Mark. And look, one of the things that we want to do, and I don't think the Shirewolves knew that we were going to do this, I'd like to address everybody's attention to the video monitor over there. Once again, our amazing editor, Eric, put together this piece. This is a piece for you guys to see, for the Shirewolves to see. This is a tribute to one of the greatest teams that we've ever seen here, the Shirewolves, Clark and Rachel. Here we go.
And what would your parting words be to them once they have hung it up?
I hadn't even thought about that.
Oh, bids.
Clark Wolf and Rachel Cushing aren't just Schmodown players, they are trailblazers.
I mean, legends. And, you know, sometimes I think that word gets thrown out very easily sometimes, but not in the case with both Rachel and Clark.
Clark and Rachel, both in their own right, have exemplified the best parts of this game.
I think as individuals, they're pretty similar in that they're very intelligent women.
They're two of my dearest friends that I've made
since I've come to Schmoedown. Two very fiery competitors.
Clark Wolf is somebody who emerged as a Schmoedown competitor who, proved that, she was just as good at this as, say, a Mark Riley or even a Dan Murrell. I mean, she went toe-to-toe with him a number of times.
I love that she was just always truly, purely herself.
When you're watching a Clark Wolf match, you know for a fact you're about to watch a really fun match.
She's been one of those competitors that I've watched grow, not only as a competitor, but as a person. And I think that change is just so abundantly clear, even in her interviews and the way that she carries herself now.
Whereas Clark Wolf has always been a very natural camera presence, Rachel got comfortable in front of the camera, in front of our eyes. And we saw her evolve into someone who wasn't just great at movie trivia, but who was great at putting on a show and who was great at inspiring people.
My first IG match that I watched was a match with Rachel in it, and as soon as I saw that, I thought to myself, that is where I belong.
I look up to Rachel so incredibly much. I'm very similar to her in the aspect that we both used to work behind the scenes a lot, so being in front of the camera is very off-putting.
Rachel has always been a huge inspiration for me as someone who didn't really come from an acting or performance background.
Seeing Rachel become one of the great superstars of the league has been a source of great inspiration to me, personally.
There's a strong argument to be made that Rachel is the most knowledgeable player that's ever played Schmoedown.
Rachel, to me, is the best player to ever play Schmoedown, hands down.
I mean, I've said this before, I'll say it till the day I die. Rachel is the greatest intergeekdom, greatest player of all time, not just intergeekdom. She is singles, teams, and intergeekdom. No one does that but her.
If you told me that Rachel was the number 3, number 4 person on Mount Rushmore, I wouldn't argue.
But it was Clark Wolf who saw her answering questions on the side and said, you got to get her a match.
It's Rachel Cushing. Teaming up with another powerhouse woman was absolutely a goal of mine.
Clark, she was a top-tier player forever. She was playing in big match after big match, and she never quite got there. And it took finally to be on the Shirewolves for her to break through and get that gold.
When she came out with Rachel as the Shirewolves, it was just one of the most amazing moments of seeing these two titans come together to form this massive juggernaut of a team.
Knowing that they were individually so strong and then they became a team, I just remember thinking, there's no one going to beat them.
Each of them have different strengths, and they both kind of perfectly fit, like two puzzle pieces.
I think that's kind of what you need for a team to really succeed. It's not just about what you know, it's about how you complement each other, your strengths and weaknesses.
Rachel is more afraid of the game, but she has that knowledge, and Clark has that theater background, so she's an absolute performer, and she, of course, has a ton of knowledge as well.
Clark's fierceness and her showmanship and her experience in the game, coupled with Rachel's incredibly broad base knowledge, I think that's where you really find this perfect match.
They're not like, hey, we're not really friends, we show up for these matches and we play well together. They form this friendship.
They're people you want to surround yourself with. They're the kind of friends you want to have. They're the kind of teammate you want to have.
You see it on the fan leagues, and you see these little girls. The one guy posted a picture, was he in Japan or China? There was this kid, he's like, he learned English through the Schmoedown, and Rachel's his favorite. It's like, she's touching people all over the world.
I had the privilege of calling a match in one of the fan leagues, the fan league that is in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon Discord, for girls aged 7 to 13.
This Sunday, check it out.
Mariano girl Zoe said, "Can I ask you something, Emma?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And she's like, "Can you tell Clark and Rachel that I say hi?" And then it was all just this chorus of these kids going, "Oh, tell them we say hi too." They represent the fact that women have a place in this league, and that really the people who matter, they look at Clark and Rachel as the example of what this league can really be, where you have these people that you can root for, these women who are such great role models to young girls, to the point that they're the first child match ever, as far as I know, in anything Schmoedown adjacent, was between 4 little girls, and that's because of Clark and Rachel.
Rachel, Clark, the Shirewolves, you are truly legends. Thank you for everything you've done for everyone in the community.
We're bringing you a special message specifically to Clark Wolf and Rachel Cushing. That would be thank you.
I don't tend to get many things right. However, one thing I've been very proud to have been right about over the years is that when the two of you formed this team known as the Shirewolves, I knew from the very beginning we were in for something very, very special.
I will say it's been my complete honor and privilege to watch the both of you compete due to your hard work, determination, competitive spirit.
They are equal to and excelling of any other team in the league, male, female, alien, or otherwise.
You really
Welcome.
You're great players and you deserved all the hype that you got.
The best team in the Schmodown, the Shirewolves.
The Shirewolves, Rachel Cushing and Clark Wolf, they inspired me.
And that's basically what
Hey!
They are heroes.
I, from Indonesia, know the Schmodown and are impacted by them.
And I know how hard it is to be in the league and to put yourself out there, and you guys did that, and I am so happy for it.
It taught me how to be more self-reliant, how to be more confident, and how to put myself out there and take chances.
There's something to be said about seeing yourself in any media that you consume. And for me, that was always Clark and Rachel.
I want to thank you for everything that you've done.
I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Danny.
I love and respect you both. Thank you. Thank you guys for everything for now.
I can't say it enough. Thank you both so very much from everybody here at Dedicated Art.
Shirewolves, we're here to call the action podcast.
Seems like a joke after me.
They proved they were the league, they are the league, they will always be the league, and for that, I am forever grateful.
Let that sink in. I know you guys are leaving, you're retiring, but just let it sink in what your legacy has been.
But I will guarantee you this. There will be no one, no fan of the Moving Trivia Schmodown, past, present, or future, who will ever forget the name, the Shirewolves.
If I were younger and could watch something like this and could see people who looked like me have the same passions as me and be recognized for those passions and be welcomed for those passions, I think that is super, super important. And I think showing that we are on the level with anybody is really something to be proud of.
Representation matters, and they are legitimately good women, good people, and they should inspire people. They inspire me. Playing with them, being on the Fight Club with them was a huge privilege.
God, all those times with Rachel. The belt winning was great, but it was hugging her and giving her the belt that one time when she won it. I don't want to see them retire, because they're my friends, and I have a blast with them, and I love them.
I couldn't have asked to lose in those big moments to a greater team.
It was an honor to play in the era of Clark and Rachel.
I'm glad to say that I know them. I'm proud to say that I know them.
I just want to say thank you to them for paving the way for me and other ladies who have come after them to feel like they can shine just as brightly.
You've been an inspiration for so many people, me included.
And it's more than just the Schmodown. It's more than just trivia. It really matters to people out there, and I think that I really want to say thank you to them.
They've earned every bit of respect they have, and I consider them the greatest.
Anybody that tries to say that Clark and Rachel didn't earn every bit of success that they've had in this league is wrong.
You absolutely earned everything you got, but you also deserved it from the start.
Don't come back. I want to win my belt back. I want to hold on to it. Don't need you guys around for that. If you do come back, hopefully it's as my manager or something like that, because I'm sure I can learn a lot from the two of you queens.
I hope that they'll still be around in
true
some
Snyder
capacity
fashion.
around here because this league needs their voices.
Yeah, that was the most Jeff promo ever.
I want to do what Rachel. Oh yeah, I don't know if I can be as good as Rachel was in that. I don't know if I can be as good as Clark was with that. And that's what players are always going to try to be that. But I think that they'll also open up the door for many other women and many other competitors coming here for what their accomplishments have done.
For this moment in time and for this era of the Schmodown, they were the league.
There has never been a team like you before. There will never be a team like you again. All I can think to say is Grover.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Movie Trivia Schmodown, team champions, legends, and future Hall of Famers, Clark Wolf, Rachel Cushing. I thank you so much for everything that you've done for this league, and we'll see you soon.
KOrruption. Such a great piece put together by Eric Rodriguez of Nerd Chronic, the Shirewolves. Great vid by so many fans, so many fellow competitors, the chairman himself in that vid. I was not able to appear in that vid I had an arraignment. So what I would do instead is just give my 2 cents right now, and that from the bottom of my Rocky Mountain cold dead heart, I would just say that the Shirewolves have proven to me that this is a guy who thought once you turn 22, you're just done making new friends. And what this league and what these two ladies have proven in general is that you can be colleagues with somebody, you can start working with somebody can be in a competitor in a league, and you can actually forge a lifelong friendship with them. And that's what the Shirewolves mean to me. They represent the spirit of community that the Schmodown has brought to us, to fans, to people all over the world. And so I say thank you as well to the Shirewolves.
Okay, so guys, this reaction has been going on long enough, and I apologize that we can't finish it because, it's a lot. It's just a lot.
If we keep going any longer, I will be crying. So let's just, you know.
That's the thing. And we were chatting. Meanwhile, like, do we keep going? We didn't exactly know because part of us wanted to keep going, but part of us didn't want to keep going. So, we just have to end it. Now, I do want to say, because these two guys were on camera to do their thing. And when they did that, I got the message last week. I was getting drunk on my vacation, so I wasn't really able to do that. And besides that, I had stuff to do in my vacation, so I wasn't able to be there. So I'm going to say it now. Shirewolves, both Clark and Rachel, I've been watching you since the first match you played in, because I've been following this since the beginning, essentially, for you. Especially, like, I remember Clark coming in as one of the one of the big players at the very, very beginning. By the time that Dan Murrow and John Roca made their debuts, Clark was right up there as well. And she was kicking ass, and she was awesome. And I have essentially always liked her as a competitor. Rachel, when she came in, she was definitely like a little scared, but she grew into it, and that was extremely commendable. And she, like, that's the thing. She's held several belts multiple times. She's earned that, and she's just a great competitor. Period. In all leagues, as they said, she competed in all three. So that's amazing, and it's unfortunate to see you guys go, because I would have loved to see you guys compete to see if you could get it back now from KOrruption or whatever, because you truly are one of the best teams. So thank you for all you've done. Geez, what a match. Chris, what do you have to say after that?
Look, I mean, sure. Do I wish that they had said David Morris and they could have ridden off in the sunset, but they're riding off in the sunset regardless. Yeah. And, you know, Nico and I talked about it enough on the Who Cares Anime podcast last week. So I'm just going to simply say this. Enjoy retirement, ladies. Let everyone that you've inspired now run the show. And let the future generations make this league even better than it already is. Because there's nowhere for the Schmodown to go but up. And yeah, I've said it like 3 or 4 times, but I'll keep saying it even after it drops. This Sunday on the Movie Trivia Face-Off YouTube channel, they're hosting the first family exhibition between John Mariano's 2 children and my team partner in the Movie Trivia Face-Off, Chris Ingles' children, hosted by Emma Fife. That's fucking awesome. So please, guys, go watch that match.
For the record, this reaction won't go public for at least a week because the match itself won't go public for at least a week. So it'll be last weekend. So if you're confused, Chris is off on his time. Whatever. But wow. Nerd Chronic didn't put it in the video, but I've seen firsthand what the Shirewolves mean to their fan base, especially to the little girls. John Mariano's kids who were in that match that Chris has been talking about at the Movie Trivia Face-Off. I've seen their eyes light up firsthand getting to meet Rachel in Brooklyn, New York. this past January. Rachel gave the people who might not have an acting background or a performance background hope that this is still something that they can do, because this is a game for everybody, and sometimes people think that it's just for movie fans, or it's just for like high octane personalities, but no, it's a game for everybody. It's a sport for everybody that wants it badly enough, and these two women wanted it so badly. Every time they stepped into that ring, Clark has competed for 2 of the 4 titles. Rachel has competed for 3 of the 4 titles, and she was able to hold 2 of them at once at 2 separate occasions. That's how good these ladies were at this sport. And I still remember Clark Wolf saying it, and it's not just because they put it in the video package, but it's just such a palpable moment. There is no women's league. There is no women's league. We are the league. That just shows that the more they played, the more comfortable they got being involved in this space. And then you hear Rachel say when they took the titles back from the Odd Couple, I'm the greatest Inner Geekdom player of all time. And whether you agree with that sentiment or not, just hearing that confidence in her voice was so refreshing because of all the times that she thought she wasn't good enough. And the fact of the matter is, she is that damn good. They both were that damn good, and they've proven it time and time again. And to see them go off into the sunset, it hurts. But now the ball's in the court of people like Ginny and the Machine, like Rachel Silvestrini, like Haley Fouch. The balls and Mark Anopic again, and so many more women to come, so many more players to come. I look forward to seeing what they do with the ball now that it's in their court.
Yes, it's very interesting to see how the league now changes, because this is in a way a little well. Of course, it's different than when the Patriots retired, but in a way it's similar, because they were the best team for so long, and now suddenly that team is not there anymore. And then the big question is, who will now rise to the occasion? Because that's the thing. Right now, Corruption has the belt. For how long? We have a team tournament coming up, and in that team tournament, a lot of new teams can emerge that we don't know are great, or some teams that we already know are really good will rise to the occasion. We'll have to wait and see. And it really opens up the playing field, and I honestly cannot wait for it. It's very exciting what is to come in both team and the Inner Geekdom division. Even without Rachel, as great as a competitor as she was, the league will definitely continue, and they have definitely been such an inspiration, and how do you say it? Like a building stone. I don't know.
A solid foundation.
Yeah, a foundation. Yes, thank you. I was looking for the word.
It's all good.
A great foundation for all the leagues, essentially. So, again, thank you so much for all you've done. Do we have anything else to say before we go to plugs?
No. I'm good.
Despite what you guys think, I could still go for another 20 minutes and hear the emotion, because I don't know, maybe I'm a glutton for punishment, but I would love to.
That might be it.
If it was up to me, I would keep going.
Sure. But
we also do have a schedule that we're trying to keep with. So
we have scheduling issues to overcome. So guys, with that said, thank you so much for watching all our reaction until the end, if you've done that. Jesus, I'm at a loss for words right now. Guys, please, like the video. Comment on anything that you saw in it. There's a lot, so please leave a comment. Actually, both the likes and the comments also help us, but that's beside the point. And, of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And with that said, Chris, you mentioned the Who Cares Anyway podcast. What is on?
Yeah, I totally did. You guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Stardust, Letterboxd, and Discord at Skywalker Doman. You guys can follow this very channel on Twitter and Instagram at D2A channel. Please like our Facebook page. And as we announced, this Sunday, September 1st, we have our Facebook group, Dedicated Art, launching. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. And, speaking of the Who Cares Anime podcast, last week we had Shandru Dandapani, the flossing superstar, if you will. I don't know how to do that dance because it's freaking stupid. And this week we have on the manager of the dungeon, Kaiser, on the show. It's going to be awesome. But little heads up, you might have noticed that tonight's episode will actually not be live because, Nico and I are kind of partying up with Smets in New York. Sorry, Case.
It's okay. It's okay. I've gotten over my jealousy of that by now. Anyway, Nico, plug yourself.
You can find me heckling Mark Ellis at the East Village New York Comedy Club, and then later getting drunk with Smets immediately afterwards. But in all seriousness, well, maybe we'll see.
I'll tell you how the train wreck goes, Case.
But for real, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nico Suave Regoli, or just Nico Suave with 4 random English numbers at the end on Discord, Instagram, and Snapchat coming soon. Combat Wrestling Trivia on Facebook, Combat Wrestling Network on YouTube. The poorly made Twitter handle is at Combat Wrestlin, the number 2. There is no letter G. Rolling Crits on YouTube, at Rolling Crits on Instagram. Hopefully my friends have done a new episode by the time we've gotten this taken care of. And one last time, thank you to the Shirewolves, as always.
Indeed. And as for me, you can follow me at Dutch Movie Guy on Twitter, Case Cornelissen on Facebook and Letterboxd, and soon, very soon, in Geektacular at the Movie Trivia Fake Talk.
Yeah, you better good luck trying to get that belt for me once I get it, Case.
I have started studying. Okay. You are not ready. You are not ready, my friend.
Okay.
Until our next video, I'll just say take care.
Yeah.
One more time.